Hey guys, um, there's a lot I wanted to talk about, but unfortunately, because of Comcast, I don't think I can leave the house and still have internet. So if I walk outside, I'm gonna lose my connection. Um, I've been crying, so I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, but I'm really bothered by what's going on and the suggestion that rather than food stamps, give people a supply box. Um, I understand the concept. I'm still a Trump supporter, but the one thing, there's a huge disconnect with the whole concept of freedom. I keep looking outside because it's almost time for my kids to come home. Um, you can see my computer from here. But, you know, we just had a shooting in Florida. It's a shame. 17 people, including two coaches. That's heartbreaking. But, people want to ban guns. You can't ban guns. And the same thing, you can't dictate what people eat. Um, and I decided not to do my live kitchen tonight because I think this is a little more important than me trying to have fun. Last week I was on my period. As some of you know, I can't use pads or tampons because I bleed a lot. And, during that week, I have to eat beef. I have to eat beef and vegetables, and if I don't, I lose my iron. And Thursday, if you remember, I decided to make chicken and have some fun. And Friday, I paid for it. But Friday, I also picked up a London broil, the cheapest one I could find, and mac and cheese for the kids, because they don't like steak like I do. Picked up a London broil, picked up the mac and cheese, made it. That's all I ate that night. I think the whole steak cost $4. The mac and cheese was cheap and it was easy. Aiden makes mac and cheese, so all I had to do was put this piece of meat on a skillet. Everyone wants to cry steak and lobster. By the time I got to the hospital Saturday, because my parents did take me to the hospital, my iron was fine. Other than the horrendous cramps, I had energy. Those cramps were so bad, but my iron was okay because I managed to fix it with the steak. I mean, and I know some people are abusing food stamps. I'm not going to deny that. There's no way you can deny that. And I know one day I might get off of them. But I can say right now it's not going to happen as a single mom. I'm going to be dead honest here. And like I said, I've cried for 2 days straight now. Shillow's in first grade. Aiden is diagnosed autistic. Shillow's not diagnosed. I've been meaning to do it and I keep dropping the ball. And one of the things is, when Aiden was diagnosed, I already knew the answer. But hearing it, having it officialized, it was set in stone that he was disabled. I don't want to go through it again. And we all know that Shiloh has something going on. And I'm half afraid to know what it is. Over New Year's, she watched her dad attack me. And she couldn't even tell the cop what happened. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Can't leave the house, I'll lose net. Okay. That's my neighbor. He's a retired vet, and I don't know how it happened, but he's a torso. He doesn't have legs. So he's on disability too. But Shiloh couldn't even tell the cop what had happened. She saw the whole thing. And Shiloh's in first grade. Now, the last time that I worked hours and Ryan was working, Aiden was in Boys and Girls Club, and Shiloh was in charge of... Nicole was in charge of Shiloh. Nicole's not here anymore. And there was one day at Boys and Girls Club that they lost Aiden. He got confused and he left. And if it wasn't for the mental health clinic by Boys and Girls Club, they called the police right away as soon as they saw him on toward Jefferson Street. And they found him. If that happened to Shiloh, I don't think she'd be found. The only thing she could tell you was her name. Maybe her age, if she felt like it. And I hate saying that, because with a massive lack of communication skills, she's still a genius, which a lot of people can't fathom. But there is a chance. There's a chance that Shiloh might be handicapped her entire life. She might never get a job. She might never be able to support herself. And if that happens, it's not the job of the federal government to dictate what she eats. That's my role. And if it comes to it, that's the role of her caretaker, not the federal government. People don't think this should be allowed, that should be allowed. I can't go to McDonald's on food stamps. There's been times that we've had to save money because My Little Pony was coming to McDonald's. When My Little Pony's at McDonald's, it's an absolute nightmare for me. Because that means she loves My Little Pony. And that's a lot cheaper than going to Five Below and getting toys there. But people think that, shouldn't be able to use food stamps to buy soda. Well, to a point I agree. While we're at it, I think the federal government needs to ban aspartame. They've done it before. I can't have it. There's actually a condition called aspartame poisoning where it collects in the brain and it shuts the body down. And I had a headache one day and Ryan made me coffee with artificial sweetener. And I went down. I went down at work. I used to be a custodian. And I had to call my parents, and I was laying in the health room of an elementary school with a trash can next to me thinking I was going to die. Because my head was throbbing and I was nauseous. And I threw up twice with nothing in my system to throw up. My parents had to pick me up from work. I think I was 27. It was humiliating. And I was like, I can't work today. And people were like, oh, you have a case of the Mondays. My body shut down just because I had that cup of coffee with fake sugar in it. Aspartame is not a joke, and it's on the market. While we're at it, I think they should legislate McDonald's to serve real food, not edible plastic. But I'm not in the position to make that call. You can't dictate what people eat. And I know before, and I almost did it. Almost did it. Friday brewed pubs. I'd be saving the money to buy a house right now. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. I have a neighbor out there who's a torso, and he's a vet. I don't know if he works. I can tell you whatever he does, it's a sit-down job. And that's if he has the energy and health to carry on that job. He's gonna need SNAP his entire life. Can't dictate what he eats. There's seniors here who can't work. There's a mom across the street from me. Now, I was gonna take the phone out and try to put a face on, your steak and lobster, but I don't think the internet's gonna let me. There's a mom who has fainting spells, and I'm pretty sure she's on lithium. I can't imagine her holding a job. She can barely mother. I love her to death. I mean, she does what she does. She does a good job for the hand she's dealt. But she can't hold a job like that. The woman next door to me is completely psycho. I don't know how she can legally have a kid. She can't hold a job because she'd have a mental breakdown and possibly hurt somebody. She should probably be on some kind of psychotropic drug. But if that happens, she's not going to be able to hold a job either because she's going to be so sedated. And I don't like psychotropic drugs either. When Shiloh was in NICU, and this is how bad Shiloh's life has been. And Shiloh's life has been great. We've had a lot of downs. When Shiloh was in NICU, one of the doctors was giving me this lecture about blood pressure and the importance of the blood pressure medicine. And she was and watching her and talking to her, she was so soft-spoken. And the words she was saying were so slow. You could tell that she was medicationally impaired. I could not imagine this woman in an emergency situation trying to save an infant, a newborn's life, because she was that medicated. And she even said she was on blood pressure pills. And right there, I made this conscious decision watching her. I don't want this shit in my body. It's the same thing I have against any kind of psychotropic. It's the same that I have against blood pressure. It's not natural. There's natural things you can do to fix these problems, and that includes food. You can't dictate what people eat. I mean, if you make bad decisions, it's the same bad decisions as anybody else. We're always going to have drunk drivers. We're always going to have people killing. I don't know. I mean, I can understand food rations because we've done it historically in times of war. This is not a time of war. But people think, you shouldn't be able to buy soda. Too bad. Energy drinks. Maybe energy drinks. But here's another messed up thing. My dad worked. Maybe he still does. I don't know. I don't live with my parents anymore. My dad would go to 7-Eleven every morning and get a coffee. Go to work. Maybe a newspaper. Get his coffee, go to work. I can't go to 7-Eleven and get a coffee and go to work. I gotta go to Sheetz and order a frozen coffee. And when I worked at Brewed Pub, Sheetz was out, so I had to leave early. But for whatever reason, frozen coffee is covered. they've been working on buildings all day, and it sounds like they're gonna come through my apartment. I got the TV on too. And now, it kind of freaks my dad out because I can't stand hot coffee because either Ryan's made it, and I'm terrified to drink hot coffee after that incident with the aspartame. But I'd like to see coffee covered because, everybody drinks coffee. We know what coffee is. I mean, I can buy coffee and make it in a maker, but the last coffee maker I threw out because it was infested. That's something I deal with, and something I'm fighting with, and something I'm trying to fix. I probably should spend some time doing laundry today because it's 60 degrees out, but I'm so worried about... I'm too worried about my neighbors. I'm too worried about my daughter. I gotta get this out there. People think you shouldn't be able to buy gum when you're heading out to a job interview, and I'm guilty of this when I go out to comedy. I haven't been in a month now. 16th. Yeah, I haven't done any stand-up in a month. And it's been depressing. I like kale. I have a choice right now that I'm losing weight, and people think it's chalked up to depression, and I'll get to that in a minute. People think it's chalked up to depression, which doesn't make sense to me because I'm a depression eater. And my food of choice when I'm upset is potato chips. So every time I've been craving potato chips, I go and grab kale. Because for whatever reason, kale tastes like potato chips to me. And you can get a thing of kale, depending on its weight. The last one I bought was 78 cents. Nice handful of kale. So, been eating the kale, I'm losing weight. But when you eat kale, you have all that green crap in your teeth. If you're out in public, you don't want that green crap in your teeth. And there's places I can't smoke. The gum and the mints help. And on top of that, you even seen with the Truth commercials, it's true. A lot of people here smoke, and it's the stupidest thing. But I've tried to quit. I'm having trouble quitting, and I'm gonna have to go vape. But I have one tank's clogged, and the other, the heating unit is shot. And the heating coils cost as much as a pack of smokes. So until I get some kind of income, I cannot quit smoking. If I try the patches or the nicotine or the gum or whatever they have, I'm going to get upset, I'm going to light up, and I'm going to have a heart attack. And I'm not willing to take that risk because I have a Shiloh. Is that selfish? I don't know. But when I tried to quit cold turkey, it was so bad that one of my friends, who's absolutely repulsed by my smoking, went out and bought me a pack of cigarettes. Because she saw the condition I was in. It's worse than a heroin addiction, from what she said. And my first thought was, oh fuck, people die from heroin addiction. I'm not in a good place right now. My parents are even buying me cigarettes. It's that bad. So addiction is real. And I hate it. On top of losing weight, and I've been praying to lose weight, and it's been working. And another thing I've discovered is I lived with an alcoholic. And here's the thing, I gave up alcohol for a lot of years because I always had this fear of getting caught. And where I can have a drink 3 times a year, he would get a bottle of hard liquor and he wouldn't stop drinking until that bottle was done. So I was so afraid of getting caught, and then he would go and get his bottle and have his revenge on me controlling his drinking. So I have a glass of wine every night. And yes, I pay. The kids are going to be home super soon. I'm alert. I'm going to try to get off here before they do, or when they do. But I feel like I've earned that glass of wine for everything I've gone through. And so far this year, I've lost 20 pounds. And when I said that, people were like, well, yeah, look at what you've been through. You're depressed. And that doesn't make sense to me because, like I said, I'm a depression eater. And then when I got to Googling, I found out wine's a diuretic. That's one of the things contributing to my weight loss. I'm not getting exercise because I don't got time. I'm still working on this house. There's toys all over the living room because I just haven't picked them up. I've ran out, done errands twice today because I forgot some. Done laundry because it's nice outside. What does that mean? He messaged you. No, I'll get to you in a minute. Why are you online and not realizing I'm live? But that's, pretty much the money that I've gotten has been toward cigarettes, gas, and wine. I'm not gonna lie. Everything else has been food. I will get to you in a second. Why are you on Messenger and not realizing what I'm doing? I already declined your call, but I am looking for a job. I still do not want to be in this situation. And nobody here wants to be in this situation. Now, I'm depressed. I'm just letting this all out. I want people to realize the disconnect, that I understand wanting to get people off dependence. And I want to be off dependence. But I gotta find a job that allows me to be flexible, whereas I have a special needs child. That's a little hard. I keep looking outside for the kids. And like I said, Shiloh might have this situation going on for the rest of her life. So, I don't feel like she should be punished for being disabled. And, we all laugh at the vegans who go running around, don't eat animals, don't eat animals. Well, that's like telling poor people, don't eat beef, don't eat beef. You gotta eat ramen. I've been in this situation where I've spent $5 on 5 packs of ramen and made it last. I've been there, I know. And I can still go to the I can still go to the grocery store, get the 5 packs of ramen, and make it last. Right now. I can do that today. The kids are fine with that, but that doesn't have nutritional value. And I don't think that poor people should be eating better than people who buy their food either. But the bottom line comes down to, you can't dictate what people eat. That's worse than making people buy insurance that they can't afford. It's worse. It really is. That one day I didn't eat steak. That one day from that week. And I went bad. I went real bad. That's what I gotta do on my period, or I get into trouble. And it's that, or take the iron pill, and the iron pill makes you constipated, so you gotta take something for the constipation, which might mess up something else, and that's the whole pill. As soon as you put any kind of pill in your body, it messes up something else. That's what pills do. That is what they are designed to do, to keep you on their system. And I refuse to do that. I should probably be on something because I don't have a gallbladder. And I'm not. I can't eat spicy foods. So, I really want to put that into consideration. Get the Wi-Fi set up on my phone, because I had to open another Comcast account. Hopefully I'll get money soon to pay it before they shut it off. But I want you guys to see the people that you think eat lobster and steak, because I can almost promise you, if anybody here has had lobster in the past year, it wasn't bought with food stamps. I don't think I've ever eaten lobster in my life. That's partly because I hate seafood, but I've had steak. And I buy the cheapest, best looking piece of meat I can buy. Never organic, because I can't afford the organic. I deserve organic. I don't want my neighbors thinking I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to my phone and my door is wide open. I'm using it for light right now. But yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I want you guys to see steak and lobster, people. I mean, and I know the abuse you're talking about. We all share the videos of the welfare queens, you know, with their child support payments and their food stamps, and they live pretty. I don't want to be that either, but I gotta be. I can tell you right now, if I don't get some hair dye soon, I'm gonna shave my head. I can't stand my hair color. And I went to the food bank the 17th of last month, and I remember that day because I wanted to go to Cafe 611. But my neighbor needed food, and it was 29 degrees that night. I don't know who that was, but they just walked into my next door neighbor's house, and Titan's not happy about it. But it was the 17th of last month, and it was 29 degrees, and we were standing outside for about 15 to 30 minutes before they let us into the food bank. The woman I took, I don't know if she's on disability, but I know she cannot work a job, not with her health. And she had just gotten out of the hospital 3 days before that, and we're standing out in 29 degree weather for her to get food. And I needed it too, because the place I work had officially closed the day before. And it dawns on me why she's always sick this time of year, is because she has to fight this battle, stand outside in the cold, to get food handed to her that she doesn't even get to pick. And there was this woman there, driving a Prius, and she had spent more money on her hair than I have ever spent on my physical appearance. At the food bank. And she stood up by the door, not caring about the people who have been standing out in front of her. And this guy comes and he unlocks the door and he screams at everybody to get back. Go stand over there. It's 29 degrees, and this guy has a problem with the people herding by the door who are freezing. There was kids, seniors, person in a wheelchair. And then, while she's in there waiting to get her food, cop shows up. She parked her Prius in a no parking zone, as close as she could to the door, when I had parked a block away. Are the kids home? Oh, the kids are home. So, let me finish. Hey guys, why is there one of you? Oh, there's the other one. How was school?
Good. Should I shut the door behind you?
Of course, no, don't shut the door! Okay, I'm kind of in the dark. Hi!
You can always put the light on.
Yeah, but the light doesn't work as well as the window. Oh, maybe it does. But, the cop came, tried to tow her Prius because she was parked in a no loading zone. Now I got the damn window behind me. Jacked up my lighting. And then she gets her food and she stands there and starts demanding somebody help her carry. The woman obviously did not need to be there. So I know that these systems get abused. I'm not denying that either. So tomorrow I want to show you guys steak and lobster. People who you think are eating steak and lobster, because we're not. And my final thought is you cannot dictate what people eat. It's inhumane. So if you make this whole video, thank you.